OBS Studios for my real estate pros. In this video, I'm going to break down OBS Studios and how to use the interface and how I personally use this software to record my content. This is going to be a juicy video, my friends, because I'm going to show you how to set up your scenes, your sources, add in your camera, add in your microphone, create the picture-in-picture look where you have the screen recording like I do in my tutorials, and you have your bubble head in the corner and all these great fantastic things. So stay tuned and let's get it and let's go. Hi friends, it's Laressa, aka La to the R-E-S-S-A. Welcome back or welcome to the channel. If you are new here, this is a place on the internet where I help fellow real estate brothers and sisters like yourself level up your content creation, marketing, and branding game. So if that sounds like your vibe, then please hit subscribe. And if you, as you can see, it says right here, best eXp Realty sponsor. And if you know, you know, and if you want to know, get it right over here, because this video has been highly requested. I am being harassed by my own agent partners at eXp Realty because they're like, Laressa,
you're slacking. Girl, you're slacking. Where's the video? Drop the video. We need the OBS tutorial.
I was like, okay, it's coming and it's here. And I'm happy to deliver. So get ready, boys and girls, because it's about to go down. All right, so if you're not familiar with OBS Studios, essentially what it is an open broadcasting system. And typically people use the software for screen recording. So you just want to go to obsproject.com and you want to download this for your specific software. And I'm not in the corner, guys. Where am I? Here. Hello. OBS Studios, my friend. And then what you want to do is, again, download this for Windows or Mac OS or Linux. And as I was saying before, you can live stream with this software and you can record videos like I do with this software as well. Now, it's pretty straightforward. You just click here, 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 and it's going to download to your computer. And all you have to do is just open up the file and install it. It's very simple, very easy. I'm not going to go through this because you should be able to do just that. Now, I'm going to break down how to decipher what the interface looks like because it looks kind of scary, but don't worry, I'm going to walk you through it. So let's go. So once you have OBS Studios installed onto your computer, go ahead and open it up. Now this is what it's going to look like when you open it up because it's basically bare and we have to go in and put in our input sources like our camera and our mic, which we will get into. Now what I do want to make sure that you do in the beginning, if you do decide to use OBS Studios for recording, we want to go down here into the settings here, click on that, because we need to make sure that we have the proper settings in place. So you want to go to video, and I usually just stick with the 1920 by 1080 aspect ratio because that's typically what a standard video size is going to be. And then go to the output sources here, and we want to go down to recording. So recording here, because we need to choose the recording path. So this is basically saying that once you finish recording a video on OBS, where do you want OBS to store that video? So I recommend that you create a specific folder. I named mine OBS raw footage. Name a specific folder on your desktop or in your documents so that OBS knows where to put that piece of footage. Now again, if you are on a computer that may not have a lot of CPU or memory, this software might very well slow your computer down. So this is something you do have to be wary of. Now for me personally, I have a double monitor setup and I'm on a Mac Mini, an M1 Mac Mini. So I have a good amount of storage on that computer and it's pretty fast for me. So if you want to know what my specific studio setup looks like, definitely watch the video in the cards above and in the description box down below, because you do want to have a machine that is powerful enough to run this system so it's not going to cause any lagging, right? So once we have that recording path chosen, what we need to go down to is the recording format. Now you want to make sure that you select the MP4 video file because that's pretty much a standard movie file or video file that any computer can register. So if you are able to outsource your content, your editor will still be able to open the files, okay? And so all you have to do is just press apply down here if it's not applied, and then just press OK, because I didn't change anything. Now let's go into adding our sources into our scenes. Now to kind of pre-frame what this really means, scenes are just the different formats essentially you want for different pieces of footage. Now, for me, a scene would be in the beginning of my videos, I have a full face camera, so it's just on me. And then my second scene would be my screen capture, which is recording my screen, and then my bubble head down here in the corner. So in order to create scenes, we need to add sources to our scenes. Now, our sources are things like input capture for our microphone, external camera, and selecting our specific screen to record. Now for me, I have a double monitor again, so we have to make sure we select the screen that we want to record. All right, so let's go in and do that. It's very simple. So right now, if we go here, add to the plus sign, click on that. We can name this full face. So this would be for our intros, and then go over to the scenes and then click the plus button. We are going to add in audio capture. So let's just go ahead and capture that. I'm just going to call it mic. Press OK, and then select your device. Now again, I have different inputs. So I have this Logitech Brio camera. It also has a built-in microphone. It's not that good. So I recommend using an external mic. So I have this one here, the Shure MV7. I'm going to select that one. Press OK. And now you can see that it is actually picking up my voice, which you want. Now we can go in and add our camera. So we can go in and we need to look for the video capture device. Click on that one. Then you can just name it cam. Press OK. Go ahead and select that camera. Mine is the Logitech Brio. Now this camera in particular is also a 4K camera, but I don't use 4K on OBS because it tends to be very laggy, and I don't need to be 4K because I live in the corner of my videos like 80% or 90% of the video. So I'm just going to select the 1920 by 1080. That's pretty much sufficient, and just hit OK. Now there's a few things that we can also add into our camera and mic. We can add in different filters. So down here, if we right click on our mic and we go into filters, we can add in some things like compressor, gain, noise gate, noise suppression. Now, if you are like me and you have a vent behind you, sometimes it can pick up that sound. It's like a buzzing sound and it doesn't sound nice. So you definitely can add in different filters to reduce that. So in this case, you could add in a noise suppression like this and just press OK. And then you can just choose, not its noise suppression. I think I chose a noise gate. Give me a second here. Noise gate. Press OK. Yeah, so we have the different thresholds that you can just adjust. So this is something that you're going to have to play around with. And if you don't want this, you just click on that and just hit the trash button down here. Now I'm going to overlay a screenshot of my specific mic filter settings because it's also dependent on, like I said, your environment as well. If you are happy with your filters put in place, you can just go ahead and close this out. Now for the camera, you can also play around with some filters, really just the settings. Go right click on the cam, go to filters, and we can go here to effect filters. Now this is where you can play around with the color correction, chroma key, things like that. If I just go into color correction, press OK, you'll see all these different toggles that you can play around with, and you can play around with the brightness, saturation, hue, and just go ahead and adjust this accordingly to your preferences. You can just, bring up the saturation just a little bit if you'd like. You might see it a little bit more, might see it a little bit less. It's all dependent on you and your camera, right? So if you're happy with that, just close that out and you're pretty much set to go. Now at this point, you have created one scene. Now, if you want to create a second scene, let's say this is for the screen recording, the picture-in-picture, we can do that right now. So let's go ahead and do that. Now, what we're doing is creating a second scene, and we are just going to go down to this plus button, and let's just name this screen capture. Okay, press OK. And now this is a scene with no sources. Now typically what I would do is I would go into full face, and then I always like to just copy over the settings of my mic. So I'm just going to right click on my mic here. But you know what, before we do that, let's actually do this first. Go to screen capture again. We're going to add in our display capture. So it's in depreciated or deprecated, if that's how you pronounce it. It's the display capture here. So click on that, and then just do, you can name it computer. Press OK and select the display. Now, as mentioned before, I have a double screen monitor setup. So if I select this current screen that I am recording on, if I press OK, this is why you will see this continuous mirror of screens, because we are using OBS. The application is open on the same screen. Now, if I were to select the other screen, I can go right click, properties, and select my other screen. So I would then be able to have OBS Studios open on one screen, the application open on one screen, and then be able to do my screen recording on the other screen here. Okay, so at this point, what we can do for ease, if you like, is then go in here and let's see here. Can we copy both of them at the same time? Select both, cam and mic, copy, screen capture, paste, reference. And at this point, you just click, make sure you are selected on the cam. And if you go here, you just pull that corner just like that. And so then you're basically in the corner. And then you can do like that. You have your picture in picture. So if you go to full face here, you're doing your intro, blah, 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 screen capture. So this doesn't have to be tutorials for Canva. So if you're a real estate agent, this could be you showing stats of the real estate market and showing things that are relevant to the specific target audience. So this is how you can do your picture in picture. Now I'm sure what you're wondering is, Laressa, how do you make your picture in picture in the corner here a cropped circle? I'm so glad you asked. That's what I'm going to show you next. For this next portion of creating your cropped image, we are actually going to be using Canva. So here we are at the homepage, and quite simply, all you really need is a 1080 by 1080 square post like this. Just go ahead and click on that. But I've already made mine, so I'm just going to go into this design here. Now you can basically create any kind of frame that you want. Basically, this is called masking, and the premise of this is called alpha channels, I believe. I don't really know the real technological bit of how this actually works, but I just know that essentially what you do to create your frame is just to have the black background, and then you can go into elements, and then you can choose any shape that you want. Any shape like this one. We can choose this one, make it white, and then just size it like this. So basically you would have yourself in the center here and be in that frame, and all you need to do is download all of them or just that one as a PNG straight to your desktop. And then what you want to do is, once you download this to your desktop, make sure you save it in a specific folder that remains on your desktop, because it's constantly going to be, OBS is constantly going to be pulling that information from this specific file here. So let's head back into OBS Studios. Alright, now that we're back in OBS Studios, what we're going to be doing is, let's just go ahead and create another scene here. Just click scene, we'll do screen capture crop. You can name it whatever you want. Now again, for ease, what we can do is just right click for the computer here, right click just to copy, and then we can just paste the reference in there. And then I'm opened on my notes here because I have to make sure that I'm on key with what I'm sharing with you guys. Okay, right now we're doing the cropped camera. So I'm just gonna open this up here. So now that you see Canva, we need to make sure that we have this bubble in the corner. So to do that, what I personally like to do is I like to actually go to this full face frame, and I like to duplicate this scene. So I'm gonna duplicate this scene, full face, but I'm going to name it cropped like that, because we are going to be adding the mask or the crop here to here. So what we have to do now is to right click and then go to filters and then add here the plus button. Plus button's not working, okay. And then go to, where are you? Image mask blend. Oops. Again. Sorry guys, where are you? Oh, and if you're curious about how I highlight my mouse, this is actually a great time to bring it up. I use what's called Mouse Pro. I'm going to turn it off. Turn it back on. Mouse Pro. Mouse Pro is an application on Mac. So you can go to the Apple Mac Store on your computer and then you just download this. I think it cost me like $5 for the app. And then it just allows me to highlight my mouse. Quit Mouse Pro, turn it back on again. It allows me to highlight my mouse, and then it also allows me to zoom in and out as you saw here. And then it also lets me do like this cool highlight thing, or it's called a spotlight, and then do a drawing and then delete it. So there's that. If you wanted to know how I highlight my mouse, it is an application that I purchased from the Apple Store. So now, going back to where we were, so let's just close this out and repeat the steps because I was interrupted by my mouse here. So we're going to go to the full face down here. That's cropped. We're going to go into filters, click on that, and then just go down here to add plus. And we are looking specifically for the image mask and blend. So click on that, just press OK. And then we need to search for the images that we made with Canva. So as I mentioned, make sure that this is located inside a safe folder that's going to live on your computer for the rest of the time that you have OBS Studios, okay? So we need to go find the path. So we're gonna go to browse. In this case, I just have it in my downloads. So here is the folder here, OBS camera, mask frames. You can choose whatever crop that you like depending on what you designed. I'll just go with the simple circle here. Just open that up and then it automatically is going to crop the frame. Ta-da! And so just to make sure that you are on the alpha mask color channel, okay? And then all we have to do is just close this out and now you have the frame. Now if you're not perfectly centered, what we can do is make sure you are on cam selected and you can adjust where the frame is so it's not perfectly centered the way you want. You can do it like that. So now you have this full face cropped scene, this screen capture scene. So now what we have to do is actually put a scene inside a source. Now that sounds really complicated, but trust me, it's not. So we are going to go to the source button. So make sure you're on your preferred scene, which is the screen capture crop here. So we're going to go down to the plus button in the source segment here and go to the plus button and we're looking for scenes. It's right here, scenes. So we need to make sure that we are selecting the full face cropped scene. Press OK. And now there we are. Now we have this selected. So now we can just crop this down into the corner like this. Ta-da! And there you are. Now the reason why we had to create a full face scene and a separate cropped scene here for the full face is if we decided just to use the same, if we didn't create a separate scene for each of these, a full face and a cropped, if we just use the same source, if we ended up just putting this frame onto the camera, it would actually affect the crop on every single source, if that makes sense. So make sure when you are doing a crop for the same camera source, which is that Brio, you want to create a separate scene and just import it into this scene as a source inside the sources. So I know that sounds really complicated, but I mean, go back and follow the steps in the video and then you should be pretty solid. It's pretty simple and easy. Now, sometimes if you're filming with your cropped corner, your cropped head in the corner, if your mouse is here, you will be covering it. So some things that you can do to avoid this is actually duplicate the cropped scene again. So if we rename this, what I recommend you to do is rename this to screen capture cropped and then put in brackets lower right, LR. Okay, and then we are going to duplicate this right click, duplicate, and then we are going to name this, we can name this upper R or just do lower left. I'm just going to do upper R because I just want to move my cropped head into up here. So here we are, lower R. Now we're going to go into upper R, and what we're going to do is just make sure we are selected on the camera here. And all we have to do, we see here how it's selected. We have the 43 pixels and then 1463. Basically, you just want to move that up so it is, again, pretty much the same, 43 pixels. And then what was the other one? 1463. 1463. And then there you go. So basically, when you change out the scenes, you can go from lower right to upper right. Now, if you want to have more of a slower transition, what you can do here is go to scene transitions, and we can just increase the milliseconds. You can just go a little bit more if you want to. So it looks like it's kind of dragging you up, dragging you down. Completely up to you. It doesn't matter. So basically, when you have this transition, it's going to be applied to all of the different scenes. So if I go to full face, I can go into just screen capture with no crop, or full face. You probably won't want to use this. So we're just going to put this down here. So we're going to go into screen capture, crop right, and then upper right. So this is what all your scenes are going to look like. And now what we can do is actually create some shortcuts. So some keyboard shortcuts. So if you don't want to, click with your mouse all the time, you can actually do the shortcuts on your keyboard, which I'm going to show you right now. Now you want to make sure that you have all of your scenes already made and ready to go, just to make it easier for you. Now to go, we need to go into the settings here. So go ahead and click that. And then we need to scroll down to hotkeys. So click on that. Now it's going to look really overwhelming because there's just a whole bunch of things. But if you just look very closely, if you scroll down, you should be able to find your scenes, which here we have full face that we made, full face cropped. We don't really need that one, but screen capture, lower right, and then upper right. So essentially what we can do, let's say we can do for full face, we can do option 1 or any combination of keys that you want. It's totally up to you. But if we do 2 keys, you will have to just press option and then 1 on your keyboard together like that. And then if we want to transition into full face, into let's say screen capture lower right, we can do option 2. And then if we do the screen capture for upper right, option 3. And then another thing that might be very useful to you is just the recording button. So let's scroll up here. Let's see here. We have start recording and stop recording. Now for this, we can just do option R or command R. I'm going to do command R and then use the same hotkey to start and stop recording. So let's just go ahead and hit apply, and then we can press OK. Now what I do recommend you to do, if you don't remember what your hotkeys are, you can just right click on your scenes, rename, and just put in some kind of brackets, opt +1. And then of course you can do that accordingly to your scenes. Now full face is option 1, but if you go into option 2, it's going to move us into that scene. Again, I'm on my notes because we are in the hotkey section. And then we can go to option 3, which will put me up into the right corner, go back to option 2, or go back to full face. Ta-da! That's how you can use your hotkeys. And as mentioned, if we do option R, it's going to start recording. And you can see it start recording right here because it shows you that the recording is on, it's live, and then it's recording that button. And then to stop recording, you very well could just press here, stop recording, or do your hotkey option R, and then immediately it stops recording. Or if you want to record, you just press this button again. You can also pause, and then it shows here, pause recording, and then you can just stop the recording or resume the recording, do what you need to do. You're talking, and then you do your option 2, and then go back to option 1, and then, hotkey, option R to stop recording. So, did I do that? Oh, we gotta make sure. Why is my option R not stop recording? Okay, stop recording. So, as mentioned, you will probably have to play around with your hotkeys. It may not be the best idea to probably have that double, Command R for recording. Maybe I pressed the wrong one. Did I press the wrong one? Option R. Option R. So my hotkey is not working anymore. Let's go back and see. Settings, hotkeys. So if you want to delete the hotkey here, just don't actually press the delete key on your keyboard because it will think that's the hotkey. So just clear it like that. Just press this button here and that button here, and let's just go in. Let's see, you'll do option R. Press OK, click on OBS again, option R just to continue or start recording, and then option R to stop recording. So that seemed to work. Okay, because Command R actually on my system for Mac is actually reload for like if you're on a Windows. So let's say if you're on this here, if I do option R, it actually reloads my screen. So that probably wasn't a very smart hotkey to choose, but you guys get the point. So play around with it and let me know how it goes. All right, now if you want to learn how to go to the next level, I have another thing that I want to share with you, and that is how to use your Elgato Stream Deck with OBS. Oh, this part's so exciting. This is going to take you to that next level. It's not necessary, but I wish I bought this so much sooner. So let's get into it. I'm going to show you real quick here. As mentioned, you do not need a Elgato Stream Deck, but I purchased this because I rewarded myself after finally having my YouTube channel monetized, and that's all thanks to you guys for watching my videos, for supporting me, for liking my videos and sharing them amongst the members of the real estate industry. So thank you so much, truly. Now, I purchased the Stream Deck XL. Like, this is so not necessary. This has like 32 keys, but I'm extra, so I went with the XL. You very well could go with the other Stream Decks that have just the 15 keys or the 3 or 6 keys, I believe, but we go big or go home here. So I went with the XL, and once you have this delivered to your home, this is basically what you want to do. It's pretty simple to set it up. So you have to go to the downloads here, Elgato downloads, and then you want to find down here the Stream Deck. So this is for Mac because I'm on Mac. You just select your system, filter by system, Mac or Windows. I'm on a Mac, and then you just go ahead and you download this piece of software to your computer. And once you have that downloaded, this is what it should look like. It should pretty much look empty because you have to set up your keys. Now, in order to use OBS Studios with Stream Deck, you do have to make sure that you have both OBS Studios and your Stream Deck, both applications open. And you also want to make sure that you go here. You click here. This will take you to the Stream Deck store. And you want to go to plugins and you want to search for OBS Studios. I know it appears on the first page, but OBS Studios, and make sure that it is installed. And once you have that ready to go, then we can get rocking and rolling. As mentioned, when you go ahead to create the keys for the Stream Deck, you want to make sure that you have the Stream Deck application open as well as OBS Studios. Make sure you have the OBS plugin already toggled on here. So we're just going to open this up. So just click on that and you're going to see all of these different hotkeys. Now, typically what I like to do is just put the record button. So you just click here and you drag it onto your Stream Deck here, and it will appear on your Stream Deck just like that. And then I also like to put in the record or pause button like that. And then what I typically like to do for my scenes is we got to scroll down here, go to scenes. So this is why we have to have OBS open, because we have to select the scene. So basically the Stream Deck application has to communicate to the OBS software. And once you do, what we have to do now is go here, open this down, and find the actual scene. So I like to do the full face, put that on, and then you can also change where the text is shown, either at the bottom, in the middle, down here, up here. Now, of course, you can also create your own icons for Stream Deck. I might make another tutorial about that, or I might show you right in here. Sorry for hitting my mic, but I'll show you probably in this video just a little bit later. So I'm just going to put in another scene, and that's going to be our, let's see here. We're going to do the cropped upper corner, no, left, lower right, and then we'll do another one, scene, and we will do, let's again, upper right. And then once we have that programmed, you can see that it appears on your Stream Deck here. And I know, look at all these keys, and I only have like 5 hotkeys. I know, very extra, but very necessary for my work. Okay, so once that's done, all you have to do is just click out of here, and we can now test this. So open this up like that so you can see. Now if I click on, we're already on full face, but if I go to this key here, click like that, boom. Wow, you're seeing my other my other stuff. Let me go to a different scene or a different page. Now go here. Now we're doing the Canva stuff, and then if I'm doing something here, you can't see my mouse, we're gonna click the other one so we can go upper right, go back to full face. You know the drill, and that's pretty much it. And then you can just hit the record button here so you don't have to do a hotkey. You can just start talking. If you need to pause, you need to pause, and then change your scene, and then go back to recording, and then you can just stop recording. And that is pretty much it for the hotkeys. Now, if you do want to learn how to change the look of your hotkeys, we can do that right now. And you know what it is? Yes, we're doing it with Canva. So let's go to the next scene. Now, as mentioned, I make all of my graphics with Canva. You know what it is, you know how I do it. And of course, I make my hotkey buttons with Canva. And what I do is for this, in this case, I just go to custom size up here. And oops, sorry guys. I think I did 225 pixels. Because you don't need to make it very big because it's just a small little icon. I already made mine. So here's what all of my icons look like. I know it's so much. Okay, so here we have, I usually for this one, this is my full cam one. So this is my full cam. This is what I made. This is just, you know, my own graphics that I found in the elements, very basic. And then, you know, down here, screen share. And then I put a bubble head in the corner so I know that that's for screen share with my bubble head and things like that. So you can make just a straight icon like this, basically a static icon I meant to say, or you can do something that has a GIF in it. So this is an animation. So you can just look up line animation. I don't remember what I searched up. Animated, something like that. And then you get a whole bunch of these things that you can do. Sometimes it can be kind of distracting on your Stream Deck, so I don't really use GIFs and graphics like this all the time. If you do decide to do a GIF, you just have to just select the page and then download, and make sure you download as not an MP4 video file, but as a GIF, a short clip there, and then just select the page and then just do that. In this case, what I would do is just have my static icons and then just download them as a straight PNG or a JPEG, whatever photo file you would like. Now in this case, just for the sake of this tutorial, I'm going to show you actually how to do it. So let's just go PNG, and this is on page 10. So I'm just going to select page 10, current page, and then just hit download. Again, with these kind of icons, you want to make sure you save the icons to a designated folder on your desktop or in your documents that will live there forever as long as you have the Stream Deck and OBS, okay? It's going to be constantly pulling that information from that file. So let's head back to our Stream Deck and our OBS setup. So let me show you how to add in your custom icons. Now you obviously don't have to do this, but I like to create my own icons so I can visually see what everything is, because when you're filming, sometimes this doesn't look great to be like, oh, this is my full face, this is my other scene. So I just like to make this myself, but I do believe that with the Stream Deck here, you can actually purchase icons that are already made off of the store here, so you can make sure you click on the button, and then you'll see here this down icon you can set from file, which we are going to do. You can actually create a new icon or open the Stream Deck icon library. So I'm going to show you really quick how to do the set from file, because that's what we need to do, and I'll show you the other two options. So set from file, we want to make sure again that we are choosing, let me bring over this scene here, not this scene, this icon down here. I gotta make sure that I am filming what this looks like. So we want to make sure that we are again having a designated folder. I just have mine in downloads right now, and that's the full cam here. And I'm just going to select that and press OK, and then it's going to immediately change. Now I don't want the text in there on top of it, so I'm just going to go over here and I'm going to just untoggle this. So now it's just that icon. So I know for me, that's my full face cam. And that's pretty much all you have to do. And as mentioned, we can go into this here, which is open the Stream Deck icon library. So if you click on this, where it's going to look like this. Now there are some icons that Elgato already gives you, so you can play around with any of these. And I believe you can also buy more. I don't remember, get more icon packs down here. You can add or delete. Whoa. Sorry, I went too fast. So if we go here, it's going to pull up the Stream Deck store. And as remember in the beginning, we did the plugin for OBS. If you go to icons down here, you can actually install different icon packs. I believe they do have some free ones and paid ones if you want to purchase that as well. So you can go ahead and add that into your library for the Stream Deck icon library. But again, I just make mine with Canva because I already have Canva and I have the pro version of that. So with that said, that's all you have to do to create one. There's also another option. If you click on here, you can open the new icon, create new icon. And what that is going to do is pull you to the Elgato's icon station. Essentially, it's like Canva, where you can create a variation of all of the different icons that Elgato already has, and then adjust it to your liking, save it as a PNG, and just do what I just showed you by importing that as a set from file here. So that's, all this is optional. It can be complicated if you make it to be, but typically, again, I just use Canva. I just make really super easy graphics for me, so my brain can recognize which button is what, and then that's what it looks like. So that is pretty much it for this portion of the Stream Deck, my friends. If you made it to the end of the video, you know what it is, you know what to do. Comment down below #NCrew so I know that you are a real one, because I know you are, because you made it to the end of this long video. As always, thank you so much for watching to the very end, and be sure to share this video with other friends in the industry that you think may benefit from this, because I love OBS Studios and I love my Stream Deck in combination with OBS Studios, because it has made content creation much more efficient and much more fun for me. So if you're interested in learning more about what my setup looks like, then definitely check out my video right over here. And if you're ready, get ready to click in 3, 2, 1.